game. He can't evolve. He can't ever evolve from that shit. And when one of the guys came up and told him how wrong he was because he'd been to all these continents, this dude Smooth, who was on the stream just earlier that he thought everybody forgot, he was talking against Game. He was talking about how bad Game is and this and this and that. He only been in Germany in one place, a couple places, but he's trying to tell a dude that been in all these continents how the game works. And I'm like, now I see, I was right about the fake red pill dudes and the fake thing, the fake people, and I'm gonna get to them soon. Like, it amazes me that when nigga shit pop up and dudes who say that they red pill and they SYSBM or they thinking men and they all this other shit, when nigga shit pop up, these niggas just take their mask off and show them for who they really are. It's like, wow, what the fuck? Did you just changed up, and then in the middle of the panel, he just be like, oh, well, Kuda, it ain't like that, man. It ain't like that, man. I'm like, wow, man. I'm like, this dude, in general, is a fake Fox phony. And it's like, it doesn't matter if you give these dudes a military career. It doesn't matter if you give them good jobs, IT jobs. It doesn't matter if you put them in tech. That nigga shit still won't get out of their fucking mind. The sip shit won't never get out of their mind. They can never throw that shit down and change. Like, it boggles my mind that these dudes had so much opportunity. And they have all this opportunity and still didn't let go that nigga shit, that pimp shit, that dumb shit, that or everything that they saying in that stream. And it's a trend now. Because I can tell you one guy who stopped going on SYSBM panels. And he showed himself to be a fake phony dude. When SYSBM came a little popular, right? Before the Aaron Fountain shit and all this other stuff happening, Super Trends was all up in the chats on panel to panel, talking against all this game and all this stuff and stuff like that. But for some reason, after the Aaron Fountain and the Game Changer situation, this dude disappeared, took all his videos down about SYSBM, and pretty much went ghost. So I knew he was fake about the SYSBM shit because he was just jumping on the bandwagon. Then you had Ben DeSilver jumping on the SYSBM shit, acting like he SYSBM. He wasn't, but he was just acting like it because it was a popular term. Then you had tons of people acting like they SYSBM, but still sipping in the chat for fucking women or on women's channels, sitting there saying hi beautiful and getting with people or saying hi to people who pretty much, you know, they talk down to certain black men. But the fact is, this nigga shit and this so-called brotherhood bullshit that they kind of push all the time, it ain't, because when black women talk down to black men, everybody's supposed to check them on some brotherhood shit. But instead, they protecting and coddling these females, and they're like, oh, at least it's not me. So it's like, okay, you understand that if she can talk to me like that, she can talk to you like that, right? She can sit back and say any kind of derogatory thing to me, but you say, oh, it's not me. As long as I got a good standing with this woman, then it's okay. But if she says something to me, I can fall back on the so-called brotherhood and all the guys and say, oh, these women ain't shit. It's the same shit that Judge do. It's the same shit that Nordine does. It's the same thing there's a couple people doing in space that I'm starting to see, and I'm about to call them out like, yo, was you just on SYSBM penis the whole time? And then you take your videos down and shit? And then when Super Trends was in an argument with somebody, he sounded opposite of what he was saying this whole time. And I'm like, damn, man, why we have so many fake phony motherfuckers in the black community? Like they can't do nothing alone by themselves. And it's weird because it's like, you can't stand alone. And then you got certain people on here who black pill, who try to say that's why it's yeah, man. These Negroes think that they can go and sit in the comforts of other white women. It's like, are you serious? Like, stay in your black pill place. Nobody want to stay with you in the black pill. If you don't want to talk to women, then don't send comments like that when SYSBM didn't come at you. I support SYSBM, and that's the whole point. But these niggas, I mean, these dudes, they're faking the funk because it's the way they move and how they talk. And then it's kind of like they try to put this fake alternative shit, like how they are different from the guys who talk about game. But then he spent the whole time 200, 300 fucking times saying the word game and applying it to every fucking thing possible. Oh, if you fall off the bridge, that's the game. You get locked up, that's the game. You jump around and you calculate what you're gonna do, that's the game. And I'm like, wait a minute, this dude Smooth was just on a panel with Zero talking about how messed up game was and talking about how game is trash. Then you jump on a panel and agree with it when the nigga shit came out and it affects you. You supposed to be well traveled when that nigga shit supposed to be out of you. But it just shows that for some reason black people can't be trusted in any type of context because that nigga shit is still inside of them. That nigga shit is always inside of them. Always there. That simp shit is still always there. That nigga shit is always there. And I'm like, wow. These dudes got careers. These dudes in the military. These guys, if you didn't want the term educated lame to be out, then you would create another term that people would pick up and then people would use. Just like the game. Just like saying the game. Just like saying all this other shit, you can change it. But it seems like a lot of people want to stick with this nigga shit because this nigga shit is who they are. It's the core. They did it for so long. They've been doing it for so long, and they can't do nothing different. And it's a lot of people who not wanting to change, who can change, and who want everybody to stick and be around them. And like I said before, no matter what profession they have, no matter what they do, no matter how much military training they have or discipline, they still revert to nigga shit. Look at C Boogie. He was in the military. This shit didn't do goddamn thing for him. He's still a backstabbing piece of shit that did what he did the Game Changer. You had the general who tried to misuse his military clearance to get the Homeland Security on Suge when he was going after when he was over in B1 side, right? So I got a list right now of the men who I see flip-flop and panel destroyer. So Smooth was on Zero panel talking down to Game, then turned around and speak up for it and made fun of DK, whatever his name. So that was last year in April. It's now November 2021, and what I said is prevalent to this now. You had King Sigma who, talked for SYSBM and Traveling Bros and then turned around and did the exact same thing that the other people talked about. The only thing is he didn't do low blows like, oh, you pedos and all that other stuff, right? He did the exact same thing. Now, these people who so-called win with women, they have the same kind of mindset, right? So, let me check off the list of stuff that all these guys say everybody seem to know about women, right? And you can know this all of the people who agree with on that side of the women are winning and all this other stuff, whatever, right? Okay. All good with women. Every one of them are good with women. Every one of them are the master class of getting women. All of them say they're good with women, and everybody else is bad with women. All of them have good sex with women. All of them are alpha men. All of them sleep with married women and women with boyfriends.
All of them know how to be better men, but not rich, or men who other countries and other cultures want in theirs. All 5% of men, all of them think that they're all 5% of men that women want. All of them have the playbook to women. So let me break this down. Every one of them brag about how good they are with women, but they're not around women talking to women. They're instead talking how bad everybody else is with women. They all say they good with sex. But a lot of them so-called not even online offline having sex with a whole bunch of women. Wow. All of them say they alpha men. Even though they don't have a lot of people following them. Somehow, some way, if you're an alpha man, you're supposed to have your own army. How is it that the so-called simps and betas and stuff have this stuff, but you can't control you can't control 100,000 so-called beta guys? All of these guys slept with married women and women with boyfriends. So this shows you that the relationship stuff is useless, especially in this kind of society, if these guys brag about sleeping with married men and married women. Right? All these guys are somehow special. But nobody wants them to come into their country. Nobody wants them to go into their country. This is what I asked Roger Allen COVID. I said, Russia is not asking you to go over there. China's not asking you to go to their country. Japan's not asking you to go to their country. None of these people are use you as an ambassador to ask them to go to their countries to fix their problem with them not getting women. They're not asking you because they will pay you billions of dollars to do it, or pay you a couple $1,000,000 to talk to their people. They're not paying you. Nobody wants a Roger Allen Curry in their culture. Nobody wants him in their culture. This is why he stays in black cultures and black spaces. Now, so when I look in the Thai City chat, I seen Taz, who when he was in the Black Manosphere, he tried to dox Obsidian. He doxed Fantastic. He doxed a whole bunch of other people with a mentally ill female woman who even admit that she's a hateful chick and got locked up and do all this other stuff. Half of the B1 crew pretty much disintegrated. Their first wave of women really broke off with him. And then Nyla turned into the She Hate Black Women Brigade. But not only that, she married to a Pookie. And you got him in the chats talking shit about the Black Manosphere, even though he doxed a lot of people. And if Thai City said, "Well, nobody helped me when I was doxed because you didn't make yourself that friendly. You thought you knew everything. You thought you was better than everybody. Everybody helped Game Changer. Even people who didn't like Game Changer came out and supported Game Changer. A lot of people, some people regret it. But at the same time, it still shows that we had a solidarity with each other, that we didn't like somebody going into space trying to ruin a man's life. That was the highlight of the space. One of the highlights of the space. So, you had Super Slot in your chat, agreeing with you, and you was reading the super chats. This is the same dude who started the Game Changer situation in the first place, along with Reg the Bad Guy, made allegations of passport men that was overseas doing unsavory activities. Even to this day, he still got those videos up. And then he had a video on one of his other channels saying that he was going to make videos about black women going overseas. And guess what? The video is still not being made. Instead, he made a video with his stepdaughter showing that he wasn't really good of a stepfather because he didn't even change this chick's opinions. His stepdaughter is just as ratchet as the women that we talk about. And that's the reason why he take offense to everything that the Black Manosphere say, or what he says, because he don't want to say it in his videos. The men down the street, the guys down the street. Every time he has to mention the Black Manosphere, all the time, but he says it in a different way. He's in the chat now because he going to Ty City's talking about the Manosphere. Then you have Ramil Amir, who started the whole Miko Worldwide situation and never told the whole story. And he talking about the same people who gave him numbers in his space. But guess what, guys? Guess what, guys? Guess what, guys? Guess what, guys? Ramil Amir Ramil didn't tell you guys. Everybody was talking about SYSBM or Traveling Bros. They didn't tell you that.
Go ahead and don't watch this video if you have no problem with...
They didn't tell you that. Miko Worldwide got out of prison or got out of jail from Colombia, falsely accused, in June of 2021. Where was Ramil at to recant his statements? Where was Reg the Bad Guy to recant his statements? Where was Super Sly to recant his statements? Where was everybody else to recant their statements about this situation? It's funny to me that these people would throw allegations, but they never correct it. This is the reason why, that's why Manny Samaro said what he said. This is the reason why they don't let black men in certain situations, because black men do, black people and black men in general do stuff like this. He's out of jail. Wrongfully arrested.
Translates into dollars, but all money is not good money. I want you to tell me what you think about this trend of people saying and doing negative things about others and
Now, Miko Worldwide was considered a pedo, but for some reason, he could still walk the streets of Atlanta where he was so-called accused of doing some unsavory things. Now let's go. He came to Philly.
Yo, you good?
He came to Philly to show the drug problem.
Thank you. For my sister.
He's in Miami. He's walking around freely. He's now in Atlanta, the same place he was accused at. But hey, why? Wait. Why isn't Ty City exposing these people and asking them why they not correcting it? See, this is why I hate the dishonesty on both sides with Fantastic, Jessica X, and Ty City and all the people in the chat. You let them get away with telling that black men go overseas for pedophile or being pedos, but guess what? When it turned out to be wrong, they run from it. They barely apologize. This is why nobody mess with Reg the Bad Guy like that, because he says so-called news stories and he don't recant it. This dude hated the fact that he had to apologize to Game Changer. He hated the fact that he had to apologize to King Sigma when they did the situation, when he said you sympathize with pedos. And then he wanted to drop it, but then this dude still talk about Stovegate and Stove Changer, right?
so you're right. Yeah. I know I'm not good coming up, but I'm not trying to be condemned. Basically,
Guys, ladies love it, smell like fish, not like high school boys. Oh, it smells good.
Dominique, beautiful name. All right. 360 for this man.
So, he's in America. He's doing a tour in America. But this is a pedo, right? Super Sly and all these other people. Why nobody ask this question of where Miko Worldwide at? See, Vermil Lemire looked so stupid saying the stuff that he said about traveling men. Oh, I'm just doing the business. And then he got exposed to being a slave. Because he keeps talking about people working a slave. He's a slave for X videos. He was a slave for the industry. I don't care how many views you got on whatever. You still not pulling the best looking women in the industry that got the offer. Because you didn't have the money to support that. So, man. Now, let's go wise words from where I said about being around black men.
Out with each other, which was understandable about their differences and shit like that. So that was between them. All these other people that came in, it was uncalled for to gang up on this dude for no reason, because your perception of what you think is cool and what you think is big is different from what somebody else's perception is. And they try to sit back and tell other people. They never bring on a white person or an Asian person or an Arab person to talk about somebody else's race. They try to talk about what their mindset is in and what they had small bit of interactions with some of these women. And Obsidian was making a good point about the results of black women and their picking and their choices in mating and dating and getting and having, kids with them sit there and brag about certain things. They don't know the real abilities of a man. Because I'll go back to this man killing the mountain lion with his bare hands. They didn't look at this dude and say this dude is weak. He can't fight nobody. But then this dude beat up he killed a mountain lion with his bare hands. That's the kind of shit that they won't never understand. Because they always talk about alpha males or blah 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 and all this other shit. There's people all over the world who break through social norms, who are the outliers. And they try to think that, when dudes get out of the black community and find some success with women in other cultures, they try to say that all of these guys are outliers. No. It's just the black community is one-sided. It's messed up. These black domes are messed up. You can say it from right here, where when you the only different person in an area, they underestimate you. So they try to school you on shit. But then when it's time for them to learn from you, because you at the peak of what they want to be or what they want to get to, they never ever take lessons from you. They never try to ask you for any type of advice. So it's like pulling, it's harder to deal with these type of people with this different mindset. So I realized that if you are a certain type of black man, it's better to stay away from other black people, or they gonna end up jumping you like this picture.
Oh, this was back in 2019. I called it in 2019. They're going to end up jumping you. Now, these quote-unquote alpha men, these guys that are against the manosphere, they're a small group of people who talking shit, including Tommy. And Tommy has a well documented situation where he deal with the same women he talk about. Even he convinced but at least he understands that he's a messed up individual. He said it himself that he hates himself and all this other stuff, and got depression and all that. So when he talks about the women that he's go against, included the one that I had beef with, when he said she looked good and all that other stuff, and then he went at her. He knows that he's dysfunctional, but when he take a jab at the black manosphere, and it's kind of like, wow, you are what everybody talk about. Then he tries to clean it up. Well, I don't go over there. Blah blah blah. Those guys gonna get vagina, but hey, why every man should have to give? You're testing men by their ability to please a woman. That's bad. But then you did the same thing. But I was right back then. You can't be around these dudes. This is why I left for 6 months. Because these guys, to me, will always have a way to go at the people who give them who go at the people that makes them live a lot longer, or be, how can I put it, give them the ability to be not go extinct. Because let me break it down to you guys. If they had a chance to be in a room with each other, or be in the same circle as each other, all these guys who get women, all these guys who know good what women do, and there was no black manosphere, there wasn't a whole bunch of guys who don't get women, and they didn't have guys who was being used by women, it will be all on them. And eventually they will wipe each other out. It happens before. Let me show you how it happens.
Alright, so what's going on? Let's just get to the bottom of this and get back on.
There ain't nothing going on over here, bro. You my nigga. And that's what's up. And that channel, if you go look, I done deleted a lot of stuff I shared in the channel.
Hold on.
You delete a lot off the channel. You delete a lot off the channel. Like they try to delete black men out of history. I'm gonna delete him off my channel. Everything that he was on my channel, I'm gonna get it all off. I'm gonna wipe this nigga from history. I don't remember when I had two in the box and he was there every night. I'm gonna wipe this nigga from history. And then Kuda be sharing my streams. I'm gonna wipe this nigga from history. Nigga too politicky, man. And then act like you my nigga. Well, share the nigga stream then, nigga. Are you finished, brother? Are you finished? Start sharing the stream. You know all the YouTube politics, politics. Then share the shit. No, I clean my channel off a lot of stuff.
I know, anything with his own.
Okay, well, I can't finish. There was a lot of other people.
But still, I ain't took it down.
Hold on, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute up then.
Okay. Well, look, I clean my stream for a lot of reasons. And, YouTube sends me emails about certain things. I had to clean my stream off because I won't, this is YouTube. But as far as stream shares, man, I really don't even do that. But as far as you throwing me the stream after your live streams, I stood out all night and I did 12 all-nighter with you. And you you felt like Platinum be with me from 8 till 6 in the morning. And then he falling asleep because he been done 8 hours when I was asleep. I appreciate that, bro.
Nigga, all that shit is cap, nigga. Hit a button. Nigga, you fall asleep, hit the motherfucking button. The same way you know how to bring one person on the stream that know how to argue with another person, and you direct this shit and put it up there to make your stream better. How you know how to go get a female and put a male up there to argue on your talking points to make your stream better. The same way you can hit a fucking button and share your nigga stream, okay? Because you used to have 10 in the box. He had 50, 60. He shared the stream with you. You come up at the end. You was like the end of the show, and it would continue on the Cosby show.
I was actually on the show.
Yeah, I know you would come on the show in the last hour to say, hey, when you finish, give it to me. Okay, so what I was saying is, do the same thing. I thought you gonna let me talk. I let that nigga out.
Wait a minute. That's because you come late, and I've been with Kuda for almost a year and a half. You saw me probably the last 2 months of the year and a half.
Okay, so I've been in this stage for about a year. Okay, so what I'm saying is, I witnessed when you had low numbers that you would come to this industry, same way you came to my stream, and would ask me when I'm finished, so you go up, so we wouldn't be up at the same time. So what I'm saying, if you come to the stream, when you gave him 80 million, would have you gave him 3 million in the box. Excuse me, big car, did you share with Kuda? You ain't share the stream in 3 months, you share the lead attorney. That's that politics shit. That's that politics shit.
There you go. Hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's why you fuck with Fantastic and the Jessica bitch about that politics about numbers. But it ain't love though. It ain't love though. It ain't real nigga. I'm a real nigga. I'm a real nigga. I said I got love. You kind of politicky, nigga.
Okay, so I should.
I don't watch you for a year, nigga. You kind of politicky. Yeah, show me I'm wrong.
Oh, now politicky. So when I helped you when you first started, was I?
Yeah, you helped me, nigga, because I was helping you, nigga. It was all about politics. Nigga, I helped your stream. You had 2 in the box, nigga, to get the 10, and you used politics.
So, this is what I told y'all. DJ Kuda numbers went down dramatically. He barely get anybody to watch his shit like that. That's what happens when you just got the game dudes there and you don't have nobody to talk about. This is why he constantly has streams about the manosphere. A lot of these people, they survival, as MOT say, is cannibalizing people. Not financial, not just financial. It's about taking down your pride, it's taking down your soul, and it's feeding off the ego of you to give them more ego. This is why they brag about the women. This is why they brag about you having this and this and that. They need you to stay alive. Once you leave out of their vicinity and they don't have you to talk about, they start attacking each other. This has only been a year with these two. And guess what? The egos clashed. Just like how Mr. Fantastic and Ty City went against each other. Just like how Angry Man and Obsidian went against each other. This is how O'Shea has to eat everybody else alive when he runs out of stuff. Just like Ramil the Mir, when he had to turn against everybody else. Yeah, but if you guys, blah, 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 y'all guys are losing. Y'all all like Jessica Accent. No. These guys don't make it specifically. They don't make it specifically. They don't make it specifically about a particular person. They try to drape over everybody else. I say names. I pointed out names. And this is how they now you know that what MOT and myself say is absolutely true, but mainly MOT because he has the results for it. You have to get away from these people. You have to take yourself out of their view so they don't use you as anything. Not ego, not their support system, not their financial help, none of that. Get away from them and let them eat each other alive, because that's what they're gonna do. I seen it with my eyes my first account when I saw one dude kill another dude when I was 17. And guess what? These dudes was friends. They fought over a female. So it always happens like this, where they fight each other and they turn on each other. Now let's see.
Hey, Baller X. Yo, who the fuck is Baller X?
Bastard. You ain't a bastard.
Hey, she got a bastard child. Tell her she got a bastard child.
Shut up. See,
Look at this dude.
why are you so upset at me? Quiet. In what you said that actually caught my attention, and it was when you did a show, and it was the show Is a Mirror Racist? And there was something that you said there, and it was something along the lines of, and don't quote me verbatim, it was something along the lines of, if you don't like it, go back to Africa and live in a hut. Oh, yeah. And then on the show you said, well, I didn't say, go back to Africa and live in a hut. I said, go back to Africa and live in a hut. Yeah. No, it's basically what you said. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mean it like that. I guess I didn't say go back to Africa. I said go to Africa and live in a hut. That's what I said. So, it's facts. It's facts. Why are you triggered? Why are you triggered? You're triggered because you are stupid.
Now, these are the women that a Game Changer will brag about. Remember, Game Changer, China White used to be around Game Changer, and he has bad. He has a bad track record. This is why I stopped going over to his streams and stuff. Jessica X turned on him. China White turned on him. Conke Kels turned on him. Half of the people he had in his chat turned on him. And Melody gonna turn on him eventually when she get enough numbers. The penis didn't work. Right? Didn't work. And they calling them names and all this other stuff and everything else. China White is a product of Game Changers having her on the panels. Now, why am I talking about that? When we talking about the whole Ramel and the whole side of, oh yeah, man, hoes are winning, and I told you they're the sin of the past and how I was right about them. I was right about Game Changer because these are the women that our side props up. People on our side who, like a Game Changer who was acting like, pretending like he was, yeah, man, I believe in SYSPM and I believe in passport and stuff like that. I went overseas and blah, blah, blah. But he also deals with the same women over here. And almost literally made kind of, his track record in females is just, whew. And he didn't want to get rid of Jessica X. They said, well, she turned on him. And everybody knew who it was. Guess what? While I'm talking about him, he was one of the people who propped up Jessica X. When people told him to get rid of her. This started last year when Game Changer versus Ty City. This all comes back to 2020. The peak of the Roger Allen COVID. The peak of the old COVIDs, right? A lot of stuff happened in 2020. There was so much stuff happened, I forgot half of the stuff. But it happened. This is why I say that I like SYSPM. Because they make sure that they don't have any woman. They make sure they don't have any type of woman that is attached to dysfunctional culture like here. It all goes back to Jessica X, Mr. Fantastic, Ty City, and all their associations. They all mixed in with O'Shea is the main person who letting all these people in. This is the reason why a lot of people want to start over in their life with black people, away from black people. Because you don't see this in other races. Let me go over here. You don't see ex-criminals mixed in with good culture people. You don't see ex-players in the same spaces as non-players. You don't see ex-drug dealers, ex-pimps running around in Japanese spaces. You don't see an ex-yakuza walking around in a space full of pro wrestling fans. You don't see a Russian person going around with a hard-working Russian. Might see them, intimidate them or whatever, but you don't see them in the same spaces. You don't see K-pop who get women going into spaces of normal Korean people who don't so-called get women. We only see this in the black and white spaces, and majority white guys help their guys who don't get women because they told them to go overseas. They told them to get sex dolls. They told them to take estrogen pills. Or, well, not estrogen pills. Testosterone. Turn down their testosterone levels. They did anything they could to tell white men to control their sexual impulses and get rid of it. Some guys take their testosterone pills and lower their testosterone, and they exercise in order to keep it up. But at the same time, they got to keep doing that so they can keep their testosterone that they taken away from them. But also, it takes away their sexual appeal, their sexualness. There's a lot of men who don't want sex anymore at all because it was too hard to get. Now, a lot of guys say how easy it is, but they never actually go into the details on how much what it takes to get one. They always point to these trash bags women on Tinder and all these other stuff, but you're not dealing with trash bag men. You're not dealing with men who are like that, who drink and smoke. You don't deal with men who are running around here looking at all this other stuff and will deal with people's crap. You gotta have a whole stable of women that appeals to these guys so they can have it easy. But you don't have it. So a lot of guys know that and they left. They left the dating scene, but then you got guys who are insulting them. You don't see other cultures mix their bad or they former bad people with their good people.
I'm gonna just make him marry me. I'm gonna make him do whatever. I got all this fucking game that I'm just able to do whatever. No, darling, that's not beef. We're telling the truth, right? I'm talking about a criminal porn star, right? That's the truth, right? A criminal human trafficking porn star, right? Who's selling his dick all over the internet. That part, that's the truth.
So, Sister George and Daniel, whatever them people name is, they're mad because we see through what they did. You know, Obsidian let these people in. This is the chaos in the black space. This is what you do have to deal with black people. This is why a lot of people, and I don't have any when you think about it, I don't have any gripe with black dudes who just want to get the hell away from black people and change their whole environment. I don't even have problem with black women doing this stuff because they see just how messed up it is. Because compared to black women's life when they're around black people and black men's life when they're around black people, it's a lot of chaos because they let anyone and everyone in. And then you start getting drama like this, where the same chick, they used to be cool with Ramil. Now Ramil took shots at him, and now they mad, and now they talking about him.
Okay. Just making sure. Keep up. Okay. So then it's like you have niggas who have been like, well, Curlin was over in space, and you know they all have the same message. They'll see.
Curlin was in this space. He was on City's panels talking this stupid behind trash, telling black men that he was gonna gun them down, and he was gonna try to get them to marry single moms. Something that he did. It was on BGS channel.
Here and tell you what the whole manosphere is supposed to be representative of, and Curlin was so involved, and Curlin just never had a channel in the manosphere. Let's keep that in mind. That's number one.
Yes, he did. He had a graphic thing. So I remember him being on Obsidians.
Two. So if you mean to tell me if a nigga comes over to a certain space that he has to agree with any and everything, there's that space.
Wrong. Did O'Shea say he has a stepdaughter? Somebody.
This all started because Ramil versus O'Shea. Ramil is the same dude who everybody big upped. And Ramil is the same dude who said that this space didn't have needed standards, so they can let everybody else in. But when that same kind of standard that he put on himself happened to him, now he want to go after the space that pretty much made people look at him. O'Shea was the reason why he's relevant. I didn't know about Ramil the Mirror. I didn't know about half of these dudes until, O'Shea? And I kept my eye on them because they didn't sound consistent. And a lot of people ain't consistent. A lot of people break their character in 5 years. A lot of guys, there's not a lot of guys who stay the same 10 years. Those are the people you trust. The other guys, they break their character in like 3 years. Some of them break their character in 5. If they hold it up. But then they got their little breaks and stuff. So, this all went down because O'Shea is a hypocrite when we already knew. O'Shea would bring on Taz. Bring on George Makem and his pro-black side. And then he end up falling out with all of them. MOT's right about him. He's running out of people to fall out with. And a lot of people gonna start telling like, yo, don't go over there. Don't mess with that dude. When the dude, I forgot his name, the guy that knew all the languages when he was alive, he didn't come to the manosphere. Somebody tapped on his shoulder, was like, nope, don't go over there because those people are they drama. And rightfully so. Now, Let's see. I made a video showing you that this is what these dudes' lives are. This is me saying the dark side of the bed bugs. Now, a lot of these dudes can't maintain relationships. No matter how many girls they went bitten and all that other stuff, they can't maintain relationships because they can't keep they stuff in their pants. So they throw around relationships and then they try to ruin everybody else's because they can't be happy. Jada Black didn't make a video about Drake not able to satisfy an Instagram thought. See, these dudes like of Ty City and all these other guys who sleep with everybody, girl and wife and whatever, and give them the best sexual experience. These guys can't maintain a relationship. They need this dysfunctional society to keep going. They need women to win. Now let's see. So she basically called them out because he just want to have sex all the time, and he don't want to do more than be a penis for women to over. She probably wanted him to do more, and he didn't want to do more. And he's the trophy guy. He's the guy that was in 100-something films and with 1,000,000,000-something women. And when a woman comes to these dudes saying, settle down with me, let's make a family, these guys run from the situation because they don't want to be the guy that get hurt. They don't want to be the guy that get cheated on, and they don't want to be the guy that they always did other dudes. I can't wait to the day when Roger Allen Cove's wife leaves him or she cheats on him. And I hope we find out, because I'm gonna dance that day. I'm gonna dance. I'm gonna do the dance. I'm gonna do the dance. I'm gonna be happy. And then I'm gonna just talk my crap, and that might last for years to come. And it always ends up like this with these dudes.
You don't get the necessary support that you need when you're in the dark. Women only use you, in this instance, only use you when you have the big package they want to sexually satisfy themselves.
See, and I talked about this before with the homelessness and all this other stuff, and the reason why a lot of these dudes are homeless and stuff. But somehow, some way, it's skipped over because, you know, it's going on. And this is a video of me explaining about reason why they letting women winning, because it's profitable for every company, and it's profitable for everybody to make money off of women by taking it from men and giving it from, it's basically cycling money back to companies in a different way and money laundering some of their money, basically. But
because women, they feel like they should be out here or not doing what they want you to do. They will literally try to take you down and have a woman take your place. Take your place. In turn, this is the reason why Hollywood has boring movies. This is why
You see so much TV shows pushing out some SJW agenda. Ratings are low. Nothing is being done about the low ratings. Low ratings are out there now. You got low ratings in TV shows. You got people who don't want to go to the movies like that. You have people who don't want to go to college anymore because of the Me Too movement. You have men more and more not wanting to hire women. And you have women are now jumping and using the Me Too to go into politician arenas where they don't belong. So now you're going to have women ran cities that really ain't gonna help no one, because there's a couple of women who ran cities that pretty much are shitholes. You can go look them up. We had not we, but we had I keep saying we because I'm cool with a couple Brazilian people, but Brazil had a female president that they impeached because she was doing stuff under the table and she was doing all types of stuff. She's the reason why in Brazil there is a kind of a welfare system for women who want to get butt implants and butt injections and get surgery done on some cars, is because of her. She thought that was a good idea instead of doing other stuff. You're starting to see that women are valued higher than men because they make the perfect cash cows for society and for companies. If a company puts $1 million on a woman and give her the ability to get better jobs and better opportunities, then they will make billions of dollars back by putting that woman ahead of the man. You can't make money from men. Men don't splurge like women do.
So King Sigma, he exposed himself of being raised around a whole bunch of women, and that's the reason why he has this expensive taste, and he tried to throw that expensive taste onto other men. But outside of that, there's guys there's millionaire dudes who got millions of dollars, they don't even have extravagant lives. They don't. So I was writing this video, and this video was back in 2019.
You know, this is why women have a lot of more homeless shelters than men do, because if you pick up a woman, nurture her, she will give a company, trying to find a word, she will give a company money back. Once they get this woman up and running and give her a good job, most of her money will not go to anything that is significant in the world. She will be the power source and she will be the money source of a company, along with other women too. 10 women who is $1 million. 10 women who are $1 million investment. That's like at least 10 million, right? That's 10 million. But times that, times 10. If a woman keeps getting money over and over and over again, she gets to Me Too men. She needs to sue men. She gets to lie on men without any type of function from the law. She gets to put women in jail who she thinks are unattractive. It's a cycle where they get to have these kids out of wedlock, but they get to absorb or grab somebody who has money. So guess what? That kid is a source of income for companies. Because the hot guy, the woman was given what she wanted. She got to be played out. Now she gets to try to grab the guy and use him for money, because this man is smart enough to keep money in his pocket. So he doesn't make a lot of companies money. But this woman has a mindset, a consumer mindset. She doesn't have any high logic functions.
So
she goes out and buy anything she wants. So she gets what a man order
because
he's stupid or he's a true beta.
And
now all that money that man saved up is now being used for a company to put in some numbers. The company can get bigger off this man. So she can use him and jump to a next man. And then by the time she gets into a relationship, the fifth relationship with a guy who makes six figures, she already gave a company by herself $1 million out of this single woman. So women are protected based off how much money they can produce for any company out here. This is why this title is... This is why the name of this title of this video is Women Are a $1 Million Investment. Companies, the law, they need women to do whatever they want. Because they make money from bad choices of women. They make the most money if women can do what they want. Because if women can do what they want, they will recklessly ruin any man's life they can. In terms that even if the woman is wrong about her dating choices and her mating choices when having kids with the wrong men, and she might get involved with a man who has mental issues and he might have mental issues and health issues, but she might think that he is so sexy because he has a six-pack and he has a big penis or whatever. She don't understand that man's medical history might be detriment to her kid. But it doesn't matter to the higher people who makes money, because this woman right here they have to get their investment back because they protected her for a reason. So she has a kid who has mental issues and everything else. In turn, that kid can automatically make a company, hospital, the medical field at least $1 million or $2 million based off how sick that kid is. And if the kid grows up to be as dysfunctional, he can go straight to jail. See? They have a stake in it.
So, as you see and as you hear, and you can go back and watch that video, Women Are $1 Million Investment. I've been said the women are winning, but I said it in a logical way. I didn't sit back and make fun of men. I didn't sit back and say, oh, these guys don't understand it. I broke it down in a way where it's like, okay, dude, the reason why women are winning is because they are a percentage of money that count for a company. Starbucks. If a woman goes to Starbucks, she spends amount of money there. If she has a car, she spends amount of money there. She spend this, blah 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 blah. She spend this right here. She's rent, blah 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 blah. This. She's contributed to. She is a contributor to 15 different things, while the man is contributed to probably like 10. Not even 10, probably like 5 different things. I already know that I have a percentage. I'm a percentage of Sony. I'm a percentage of whatever I have. Mainly Sony, video games, anime, and stuff like that. I don't give money to restaurants so I can date girls. I don't give money to women so they can do that. I don't have a phone so I can talk to a female, blah, 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 and all this other stuff. I'm not a contributor to that. Whatever I got is not going to them. But at least I broke it down in a way where it shows that I'm not going around talking down to guys and saying, oh, the hoes are winning and the hoes are winning, ha ha ha, the hoes, the nerds that don't get no pussy, ha. I don't want, what's it called? I don't want, what's it called to go in there? I don't want it. See, I broke it down in a better way. Just with less views. So, now, I have a video saying never take advice from men who don't have rivals. Now, let's hear what I say. What's up, everybody? Why don't they go wear a place where some celebrities are at and try to go talk to the women there? If having a mouthpiece smelling good and being confident goes a long way, like they say on these videos, why having these dudes going to these areas and these arenas? Because these men overall who preach game stuff and it's select and non-select, guess what? They don't have rivals. And when I say a man don't have rivals, these are the dudes who are willing to go into spaces and talk down to people they know they can get away with it. They can go around talking. What is that? They go into spaces where they can get away with talking down to people like that. Wait. 2019. Wait. Let's saw it again. Let's have rivals. And when I say a man don't have rivals, these are the dudes who are willing to go into spaces and talk down to people they know they can get away with it. They can go around talking down to a guy that they know they think that don't get nothing. Like I'm not gonna call a guy out. But he'd never go to a guy's porn star's page and say something to him because he know that he get clowned. This same YouTuber went and tried to clown a celebrity, and then celebrity fans on one of his YouTube pages is like, why are you making a video about him? You a clown. All your videos is clownish, and you don't know nothing about that, blah, blah, blah. That's what he did. He backed down and went back to his space where he belonged. But then in another video, he's telling somebody how he's telling you how you don't understand the game or how to talk to women. And I said in one of the comments and said, yo, so you telling men the baby women? And he tells me, I know nothing, Jon Snow. And I'm like, this dude really thinks he's Mr. Big Shot. Because he get a few women. Back then I was talking about Solo TV 84. Now look at Solo TV 84 now. And he thinks he know about all types of things. And him and this other YouTuber saying, you know, you attract more bees with honey than vinegar. And I'm looking at this guy. I'm looking at this dude, and I'm not making fun of his appearance or whatever, right? But I'm looking at this guy, and he sits there and tells me I know nothing. But I see him get into like a little rumble match with a MGTOW channel, the MGTOW community, and they went at him hard, and he backed down and apologized. So he only goes to spaces where he can bully people. These are the people who will walk into a room full of people who got raggedy clothes on and say, hey, you want to dress like me? Pay me for me to tell you how to dress like me. They're the only guys in the room that dress nice when they walk in the room full of people who dress bad. These are the guys who walk into a room full of sick people and they the only ones who healthy and then try to sell health, being healthy to the sick people. These guys are the only skinny person in the room full of fat men and tell them, oh, you want to get fat. I mean, you want to get skinny, you have to pay me. I'm telling you, man. These guys are using a lot of guys for a punching bag and for to be impressed. These guys are the feed. These guys are male drones for women.
These guys will never tell women the truth. And then in this video he said, why don't you tell your boss and be right there with your boss? Wait. You equating making money to getting women?
And this is the same thing that Mr. Fantastic said about guys who said they don't want women in the space. He went to the extreme and said, oh, smack this and do this and don't work with women and this and this and that. He went to the extremes. I wasn't wrong in this video, was I?
That's what you're saying? You never trust men who have no rivals and who don't want to get rivals. Never trust them. Because these people they're the tallest man in the room full of short people. They're not going to never go to a place where they can ever get somebody who can beat them at their own game. This is why they walk around on YouTube and on social media telling guys, men need to stop worrying about other men's look. But then talk about they select or non-select, or tell you to go to the gym, or tell you to self-improve. Because that's good for you, but they don't tell you alternative ways to self-improve. These are the same men who said he goes to the gym, but they can't compete in a strongman competition or a powerlifting competition. These are the same people who never go to a marathon and try to compete in a marathon, even if it's a charity. These are the same people who stay in the same place and go into places where they know they can always win. But these are the same people who overall will bitch. I don't want to curse. These people will sit back and tell guys who talk about Brazil. Hey man, this is the women. These are the men who talk about Brazil. Oh my God. Why are you talking down to other people's what other people like and what other people don't want to go through? But then you go on another video and make a post, a community post about another YouTuber saying, oh man, he's right. Having a mouthpiece and smelling good and being confident goes a long way. If that's how it is, then you can take a female from Chris Brown. If that's how it is, then you can go into any athletic place where these college athletes are at and take their women from them. If you can't do that, and you can't try to find you a rival, and you can't tell how much you lost to another man, that you try to make a rival, then why are you out here trying to tell people advice on how to live their life? See, these are the men on YouTube and social media who talk about game. They're kicking men when they're down. They can only target men that they feel they're better than. They can't target men that are above them. They can't target men who are next to them because they know if a man is better than them, they're gonna team up with that guy. They don't try to beat that guy. They kiss that guy's ass. Do you ever see some of these YouTubers sit back and say, whoa, Uncle something, big bro, and this and that? They never try to compete and beat the guy that they admire. They never try to rival him. All they do is kiss their ass. So, yeah, they talk about game, but they never elevate their game in any type of selection. These are the same dudes who get a degree in something and just let that degree sit there and don't make no money off that degree. They don't try to compete in the degree that they got for. That they require through studying. They didn't try to stay in that field for at least 3 years and compete with the people in that field to try to see if they can get to the highest point before they leave that field. They just leave that field saying, I can go in a place, I can talk down to these guys because they're not smarter than me. They didn't go to the same school as me. I'm college educated, but these guys are not. So I can teach them some game. Mind you, these guys are not proven. They never prove themselves. They always in the gym. When you in the gym, you're not against nobody. You're not against nobody. You're just against yourself. But ask these guys. Since you're in the gym, have you competed in any marathons? Since you're in the gym, did you ever compete in any strongman competitions? How about powerlifting competitions. Did you ever compete in those? Tell them how many competitions have they competed in. And show the video proof. Because if they can't show it, stop taking these guys' advice because they're making money and making money and they're making a little bit of fame off of the insecurities and the inability of people who just opt out. See, real confidence is guys who say, I'm not trying to sit here and tap dance for women. I'm gonna just stand back and build my money up and travel. At least if I want to talk to women who are worth it, I want to hear a sexy accent. I don't want to hear.
So that was 2019. Now, this was a year ago.
About 5% of the ex-Pookies who actually give respect to the guys who was there before them and respect them before they got there, I give it big up to you. But the ones who come, people out here that's 20 years, 30 years in of being straight and narrow, you didn't praise them, but you want to be praised for getting yourself together after you got caught and after you got put in jail, or after you had no choice but to go and do the right thing. How is it that you want to be praised for the shit that you shamed other men for doing? How is it that you shame guys for staying in the house? Like, there's guys who are reclusive that are top level geniuses and they created the shit that we use today. But they don't get shamed by the race of people. China right now, shout out to Zero for putting an opinion out there. And they don't need women. And they don't need this rap shit. They don't need this hood shit. But don't nobody makes fun of them. Japan. It's a small group of people who made fun of the herbivore men. After that, they looked and saw that the more they talked about herbivore men, the more the herbivore men said, fuck society, I'm not going to participate in it. Look, man. The Pookies, the ex-Pookies, and the ex-Ray Rays and the ex-felons, if you know how to conduct yourself around educated guys and you ain't a flip-flopper, I respect you. You got your shit together, you got yourself together. But don't join up with the Pookies, the Pookies that turn and start making fun of motherfuckers, like start making fun of the people who did it right? I'm seeing all these so-called educated dudes who used to be so-called Pookies who decided to turn their life around and start talking about the nerds. I mean, you making fun of niggas' voices, you telling them they can't get bitches, you telling them that they was in a house, you telling them all types of shit that's good shit that nobody's supposed to. Like, look, man. I'm gonna start calling these dudes not Ray Rays. I'm gonna call these niggas Mudmen, because these dudes remind me of Mudmen. Mudmen are people who always kind of. They're so damn dirty, and they spend their entire life swimming in mud, and they love it. They glorify being muddy and dirty. So what they do is see a clean person, and they hate to see a clean person, so they try to throw whatever they have on them on you. So in the terms of that, metaphoric terms in that, is that when these so-called reform Pookies come into an educated space, they take jabs at you like, oh, you don't get women. Oh, you stayed in the house. Oh, you did this. Oh, you did that. And at some point you said, wow, are you talking down to me because I did the right thing and I didn't fuck up in my life? I didn't go to jail. Sell drugs, beat on people, rob people, had to go to jail for fraud, or some shit like that. I did the right thing, stayed away from that shit. Not only that, hold the damn water of the whole damn race, while you was out there making the race look worse and worse. How is it that a group of people who was doing the worst shit to people, and they get blamed on every black person, but for some reason you want to be praised when you turn your shit around, when you turn your fucking life around, man? Like how's that bullshit right there? That's some bullshit. the Pookies, the ex-Pookies, ex-felons, ex-strippers, you know, all the ex-women who used to do all that dirt and do all that shit in the street. Now they want to be open arms on some church girl shit and them this kind of, oh, I'm different now. Your track record tells me that you got another 10 years before you even talk to me because guess what? I still don't believe you. I still don't believe that you're nice enough, because eventually it comes out. And in these conversations that I'm seeing around the manosphere right now, based off one dude coming in there and saying that you're not intelligent and you took it the wrong way. See, the fact is that you can't. This is why I think a separation is actually needed. Because the Mudmen want you to get as much dirt on you as they got dirt on them. And then that's when they appraise you and acknowledge you. They don't respect you for having the clean clothes on and being clean and not having dirt on them. They want you to respect them after they wash off all the mud that they wallowed in for the past 50 years. That's why I'm not gonna call these guys Ray Rays and Pookies no more. I'm calling them the Mudmen. Because that's what they do. They try to dirty you up and make you mad. Example, a guy like Hammer. There was a guy in there in camera. I don't know where he's from, but Hammer was a dude who read books and just come on and be stuttering sometimes. And he kind of awkward when it comes down to the conversations and be saying different stuff. But he was still a cool dude. These dudes made him so mad that he started getting drunk. And he started getting drunk. Also, he started cursing and getting mad and threatening violence. This is what the Mudmen and the Mudwomen do to men. They try to dirty you up. They try to make you mad. They try to take you down to their level. It's better to let these dudes punch you in your face, spit on you, and you just get them later on in life. And you know how many people that I gave L's to? I mean, I gave W the worst insults ever because they want you to get as money as them. They don't like the fact that you are a good, productive person who is not going to feeding them, who not going to feed them or take care of them or clean up their mess. Every time they don't appreciate that we were the ones who was always heavy lifting when it comes down to a race. We was the ones that made the race look good. You know why? Because we wasn't criminals. You know why we didn't sell drugs? You know why we spoke well? You know why? Because we didn't get women pregnant. You know why? Because when white people called us N-words, we walked away. You know why? When all this stuff that happened, we were the exact opposite of these dudes. So we was cleaning up the race all single-handedly, all of us, while they was dirtying this up, dirtying this shit up, destroying neighborhoods, going to jail, making us all look like criminals. Then they get out and think that they can pick up the mantle of the people that they talk about. Okay, I can't respect you if you talked about anime, dudes who like anime 5 years ago, but now you somehow like anime now. Or you talking about you like video games, or you talking about you like pro wrestling now. Like you can't get into shit. You can get into it, but you can't walk up in there and think you get a cookie or a reward for doing something that we was already doing. There's a lot of people who dealt with being different for their whole life, and they heard all this shit before. And they was dealing with the Mudmen their whole life, and they didn't have to. They had to sit back and dodge mud balls all the time, dodging mud balls, ducking and dodging, being Neo from the Matrix, dodging mud balls. And then eventually, these dudes got tired throwing mud, and they see that it wasn't working. So what they did was turn around and say, "Damn, I can't be a Mudman no more. Society is all clean. So let me get all this mud off me." All the shit that I did and all the stuff that I did to people, and let's forget it, and let me act like the person that I made fun of and talk now to. Let me get into tech. Let me get into trades. Let me do that. Hey man, like I said, about 5% of the ex-Pookies, it ain't like you be like, oh.
So, I even called it out last year about the Mudmen concept. So, there's a lot of so-called guys who good with women, they're the guys that I was talking about who comes in that they don't have no rivals. The people who Mudman, you know, Ramil and all these other guys that, you know, O'Shea brung in. I broke it down to so many videos. I really don't want to rehash it. But that's pretty much this is what I think. And this is my let me see. Do I got anything else left? Yeah, I don't want to use that. I don't really care about that. But the whole concept of going against the manosphere is basically so they don't burn out, because all these guys skipped over getting the camera thing when he said what he said, and then now they got a new thing. They sparked it up. Jessica X, Fantastic, Ty City, Ramil Lemire, O'Shea, and all these other people who decided, hey, we want to take our shot at the manosphere again. And, you know, it includes assistance from King Sigma and a lot of other different people. Look, man, we outnumber you. All of the people who sit back and think that they're better than the guys who don't get women and all this other stuff, we outnumber you. We outnumber you. You're never going to beat the guys who don't get women. It's better that you stay in your lane. You're never going to get these people on your side, because guess what? You would have had them on your side already. The only thing you can do is talk. Just like me. Difference is, I know what side I'm on. I'm not out here making fun of guys who got sex dolls. I just tell dudes that own a stream that if I want to do an option, like go overseas or somewhere else or do something else, don't talk about it. That's who, and I'm directing that towards the Brian Solanges of the world, who had the nerve to say that, you know, men going overseas is the same as being a pedo. But he's pushing this whole Marlboro man, but he keep making videos about women. If you really are leaving alone, leave like I did. Leave for 6 months. Leave for 3. Find something else offline. Don't go on Black Avenger. Go off of it. Show the world that you really are the Marlboro man. That's it. I showed it. I left. I made videos in between like once a month, and then I stopped. And when I had the health kind of situation, it was like, I'm only doing this because I'm almost finished some of the downloads. And basically, I want to put my 2 cents in it. I made videos about this stuff. I predicted what these guys was going to do. I said it in many of my old videos. These guys don't have a rival, and they're trying to make everybody who they think below them their rival, instead of them going to a space. It's funny to me that none of these people ever talk about the rappers who spend $100,000 on women. It's funny that they don't make fun of their favorite athletes who go out around losing to women. It's funny that they got to go into a space. Why don't they go into basketball spaces or football spaces or rap spaces and talk about how these guys are simps and the women are winning or whatever? Or they sharing the same women? It's funny that they, like I said before, never trust these people who don't got no rivals. That is my that is what I came with for people who wanted me to make the video. These guys who said women are winning and stuff like that, and then you see this kind of stuff, just see what they're saying about men who they think is losing. And they revel in the fact that the women are winning. They revel in it because they can get more women. Super Triz said it himself that he liked the fact that women are women and women are winning and doing whatever they want. Because if they wasn't winning, he wouldn't be able to get more vagina. This is a guy who works, I think, at a hospital or something like that. So he sees some of the women. They revel in this dysfunction, and they don't like anything that works. This is the reason why they're not in societies that do work, because the men in those things, they ain't racist. They just don't want that crap in it, because the fact is they have to make sure that if a black guy comes in our culture, he's not gonna leave the door open for these guys. Because we don't want all these single moms and all this game and all this talking down to men and all that. Even if a group of people like Colombia, like what's it called, say got single moms, the country don't take care of the single moms. Also, guess what happens? Their men use the women and they don't really marry them. They don't have a lot of power over there. So yeah, man, that's about it, man. That was another hour.